What's up, everybody? We're back here with a post-commentated Pokemon Showdown battle. It's another one of my matches from SPL Farm League, and this is the Week 3 battle for me. And I'm gonna go ahead and use the same team that I used last time, just because it's a very effective team. I've gotten very high on the ladder with it, and looking at this team, the Sharpedo in particular is looking really scary for my team. But luckily Swampert has a really good matchup against every single one of his Pokemon except the Shaman, so I'm going to lead out with it, and we're both going to exchange our rocks here. As after this, I decide that I want to go for the Scald on the Shaman. I was thinking about going for the Roar, but I didn't think he would switch in immediately, maybe try to get some damage, like a knockoff or something. That's why I went for Scald. So here I just go into my Jirachi, he predicts that very nicely and goes for the U-turn. This is very valuable information for me because now I know that his own Jirachi is Scarf, as I foolishly decided to go for the Fire Punch, maybe thinking it was some sub-toxic set. So here I have no choice but to go into Hydreigon. If he superpowered me, oh well. Luckily though, he roars me out into my Swampert, which allows me to... I actually think I roar him this time, and this time he goes for knockoff, so... I've been making some pretty sloppy plays right now. He goes into his Gramble. I thought I may as well want to weaken this, maybe even burn it, as he maybe predicted me to switch. He goes for the Thunder Wave, and this time he has Protect on this for some reason. Does Gramble get Wish? I actually don't know. If it does, then that actually makes sense. But I'm going to roar him out here, unfortunately, into his Shaman, but I am getting the Stealth Rock damage off, so that's good. I just decide to pull the safer switch into my Jirachi as he goes for Dazzling Gleam, maybe predicting my Hydreigon. As I'm just going to get off a nice and clean U-turn, as I pretty much have to go into my Hydreigon now. And he goes for Earth Power, and here he decides to switch out, fearing maybe a Draco Meteor, which tells me this is a more defensive Shaman. So it's not running max speed. This is important information later on in the match. So he switches in Gramble. The Arc Pulse is an easy 2-hit KO. Hydreigon is just so powerful. He's forced to Protect, and I'm just getting off damage on all his Pokemon. As you can see here, he's forced to bring in Crocodile. I can't go for Superpower because I've been intimidated twice, so I just go for the safe. I just go for Draco twice, and does he have Protect on every one of his Pokemon? I don't understand this. So I'm going to be able to knock out Crocodile as he's going to switch in Jirachi. And again, I just pulled the safe switch into my own Jirachi just to be safe. I don't need this thing healthy for anything. Having it alive would be pretty decent. So here he decides to get the speed boost with Protect, but I'm still going to be faster because I'm a plus speed nature. And I'm just going to get off this U-turn here, as he decides to pull the switch into his Gramble, which is a good play on his part. He really needs Sharpedo somewhat healthy, because I think the Mega can survive the Lucario Extreme Speed. So here he goes for Protect, and I'm really expecting to switch into Nidoking, but he predicts me very nicely there by staying in and going for the Play Rough. And now here I'm going to go for the Volt Switch, and now he goes into Nidoking. I was actually thinking about Dark Pulsing twice, Dragon Pulsing twice, but it just doesn't work out that way. So I'm pretty much forced into my Jirachi here. Luckily I don't die to the Ice Beam, so from here I can just keep on spamming Iron Head and just do as much damage as possible to his team until I faint. He kind of sacks his Gramble here for no reason. The Intimidate would have been nice, because like what I'm trying to do here is set up a sweep with Lucario late game. And the two things that were stopping me from doing that were the Jirachi and the Granbull. So he just sacks that. So I'm thinking I need a little bit more chip damage on Sharpedo to knock it out with extreme speed, so I just decide to stay in. But here I go into Crobat, foolishly thinking I could survive a crunch, and I just die. So Crobat's sacked for no reason. Played kind of sloppily there. I really should have just gone into my Lucario. He goes into Nidoking, maybe not wanting to risk me going straight for close combat, which is, decent play on his part. And so here I'm just going to sack Jirachi pretty comfortably. He reveals Zen Headbutt. This is also important because that means he is not running Fire Punch. And I can just freely switch in Hydreigon right here, as I decide to go for the Roost. That was another sloppy play on my part. I really should have just went for the Dark Pulse there, just because Hydreigon would have been useful for the Shaman, because now I'm in a kind of sticky position. If his Shaman ends up being faster than my Lucario, I lose no matter what. Luckily, he doesn't get the flinch here, and I'm going to pull out victorious just by a hair. I really could have played if I had knocked out the Sharpedo. Like, it was a sloppy play on my part. Like, I had no reason to go for Roost because I'm immune to Zen Headbutt. Like, I knew he would switch, and having Sharpedo gone just takes a lot of pressure off of my Lucario. Like, I easily could have lost this game because of that. And also, it puts a lot less pressure on Swampert because I would have, at least it would be like a 50-50, whether he'd go for Earth Power for Lucario or not really. I could have just sacked Lucario because Sharpedo was dead at that point. If I had gone for Dark Pulse, that is. Shaman comes in, or Drachi comes in, I pull the switch into Swampert, he goes into Shaman, and I just sack Lucario and basically win the game from there. That would have been a much cleaner progression in the late game, because had this Shaman been like the standard Timid set, obviously it has Earth Power and I would have lost this match. But luckily it wasn't, and I pulled through with just a hair. And I was also really lucky. Like, I also had to risk the flinch with Jirachi's Zen Headbutt, which is something I would not have had to do if I had preserved Hydreigon. Yeah, Mega Sharpedo is just a complete terror. I really didn't think Ice Fang would kill. Like, the Strong Jaw ability is way too real. Sharpedo is way too strong. But that's gonna be it for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed, and you'll join me next time for my Week 4 battle next week.